Hello everyone, my name is Alexis Crook and I am a Customer Success Manager here at Prosymmetry. In this video, I'm going to walk through how to create custom views. So you can do that in Project and Resource Management. You can also do that in the Bulk Project Allocation Flatgrid. And I'm also going to show you one of our newest features, which is global views. So first, let's start in the Project Management tile. You will find views on the right side of your screen. It has a little eye icon. You can click into this and I can see my 3 views that I have created here. These are all 3 views that are personal to me, but I will also show you how to view shared views. The first thing that I want to point out is my default view. So the view that I want to see first when I enter this screen, I can identify by selecting the star icon here. You can do that with any of the views, but I like it to be my default view. So what is my default view? I have pulled in these specific columns that I want to see when I first come into this screen. So I have my start date and end date of this specific project. What phase is it in? What is the planned allocation time and the actual allocation time? I will also show you these 2 other views that I've created just for some context. So my project manager's view, what I've done is grouped by project manager, and you can do that with this choose groups icon here. And I have selected project manager. So here I have my project manager, Jane West. I can click in and see all of the projects that she is the project manager of. Same thing for Melissa Ford. And the last one that I have is 2022 projects. So I've added some filters here to show all of my projects that start and end within 2022. You can see here. You can also create a new view in this screen. So I clicked the create view icon here, and I can select my new view down here. I can create a new name here. For now, I'll just leave it as new view until we decide what is going to be in this view. Next, I can come into filters, columns, or groups to decide what I want this view to show me. So let's go to choose columns. Let's select, maybe we want to see whether it is a proposal or not. Maybe we want to pull in who is the project manager and what is the status. So let's pull in these specific things here, these specific columns, excuse me. And I'm also going to filter by, I want to show only yes, it is a proposal. So let's pull in is proposal, and I want this to be true. So in this view, what I'm looking to see is my projects that are a proposal, who is the project manager, and what is the status. So now that I know that, I can come in here and rename this to proposal projects. All right, so I defined what the star is. Again, that is the first view that you want to show up when you come into the screen, but we also have this little lock icon here. So what the lock icon is going to do is if you want to make changes to an already created view and you do not want those changes to persist, you can lock it. So let's say I'm in proposal projects, and I also actually want to see who the last person that updated this project was. Since this is not locked, the next time that I come into this view, updated by is now going to also show in this view. So now if I remove updated by and I lock this, if I were to now include updated by again, if I refresh this page and come into my project proposals, that updated by is no longer going to be here. So you can lock your projects and then play around by filters, columns, and groupings. And then the next time that you come into that view, those changes will not persist. All right, next let's go into resource management. So this is a very similar layout to the project management tile in terms of views. So here I have my default view being login info. So I have chosen to pull in name, login, password, and global role into this view. I've also created a few other views that I can go through. Department and location, I've called this one. So I've pulled in department, position role, office location, country, and so on. Here you can see, if I hover over this little eyeball, it is showing public view. These are the global views that I mentioned a little bit earlier, and I will show how we do create these. But these two views, marketing team and London resources, are views that all of our users can see. So if I go into marketing team, I can see this view that either I or someone else created for everyone to have access to. And these top, 5 views, these are only for me to see. I created these in my own environment. All right, next let's go into our bulk project allocation Flatgrid. In here, you can also see your different views. That gets a little bit confusing. So first I have my default view, which isn't pulling in anything besides these dates. But my default view is leaving it open for me to make selections. I've created a couple other views. So this one is called Alexis, which is my name. And I have selected myself as a resource in the resource tab. So then it's going to show all of the projects that I am on. There's another view called April Project 1. So this is a specific project, and it's pulling in all of the resources. But again, these views can be customized to, let's create a new view. Let's choose the start and end date. Maybe we want all 2023 projects, all projects that fall within these dates. And we want to see all of the projects. So we can create this new view and title it 2023 projects. Now, anytime that I click into this view, all of my projects within this date range are going to be pulled up in this screen. Next, we do have another globally shared view. This one is called Q4 projects. So again, this is a view that all of your users will have access to. Rather, these 4 are views that only I have access to because I created them. All right, the last thing that I'm going to show is how to create those global views. So if you go into admin settings and then view management, this is where you will create those global views. You can create one in BPA Flatgrid, project management, or resource management. So let's create one in resource management. Let's add a new view. And who do we want to have access to this global view? So you can select all of your resources. You can also select certain global roles that you only want access to view this. And you can also select, maybe you just want a couple of your resources to have access. You can do that here as well. Do you want this new view, this new global view, to be default? So do you want this to be the first one that appears when I open up my resource management page? Here you can select which kind of groupings you want. You can also filter and pull in specific columns. So let's pull in city, country. Let's pull in maybe global role. And this one we want to be titled locations. Let's filter by, let's do our US locations. So let me change this title, US locations. So we have our 2 cities belonging to Columbus, Ohio, and New York City, New York. And I believe that is all we need to do. Let's save that. Now let's go back into our resource management tab and come to US locations. Well, we don't have anyone assigned. Okay, let's try this again. Let's actually select a few people and assign them the city Columbus. And then let's assign a few other people the city of New York. All right, now let's come back into resource management. And now we can see whoever was assigned to our US cities, which were Columbus and New York City, will now be pulled into this view. And again, this is shown as a global view by that little eyeball icon. And that was how to create a global view. If you have any other questions on views, creating a new view, global views, anything like that, feel free to reach out. But for now, that is it. Thank you, everyone.